When you hit about days 3 to 5 postpartum, this is when the mature milk comes in, and this is known as engorgement, and it can be kind of painful or at least really, really uncomfortable. So I'm gonna go over some tips to find relief from engorgement in the early postpartum, just to make it a little bit more comfortable for you. Hey, my name is Gina. I'm a perinatal fitness trainer and birth doula, and currently in my early postpartum with baby number 4. And I am kind of at the tail end of engorgement. And so I want to share my tips for relief because I've gone through this 4 times, and each time a little bit of different things have been super helpful for me. And over time, kind of research has changed on what is super beneficial. And so the first thing that is going to be really helpful when it comes to engorgement is nursing on demand. And so nursing your baby as often as possible. And so this is bringing baby to the breast and just letting them nurse, making sure that they have a pretty good latch if possible, so that they're actually helping with that milk removal and we're not causing a lot of nipple damage. But if baby is having a hard time getting a good latch because the breasts are so hard, because essentially they're massaging the breast with their mouth to help with that milk removal, sometimes doing just like a little bit of pumping can be really helpful, just to kind of take the edge off of the milk to make the breast a little bit more soft and supple for baby. And so I like to just use a manual pump for like maybe less than a minute, just to get a little bit of milk out so then it's softer for baby to nurse. Or if baby has finished nursing and they fell asleep or they don't want to nurse anymore, but I'm still really uncomfortable, I'll just use a pump to kind of take the edge off. But we're not trying to do like a full pumping session that could result in an oversupply. It's just like a little bit to take the edge off for some relief. Now, it used to be to use heat for relief from engorgement. So take like a super hot shower as you pump and massage the breast, but they're actually finding that cold is a lot better because engorgement is inflammation. And so when we add heat to inflammation, it sometimes just makes it worse. And so applying a cold pack or an ice pack can be really beneficial. And so if you just happen to have a bunch of those perineal ice packs left over from the early postpartum, because we really only need to use these on the perineum for maybe 24 to 48 hours. You can use your extra ones for your chest, which I have found to be super helpful because I somehow end up with a bulk supply of these by the time I make it to the postpartum period, and I definitely don't need that many. But you can also just use an ice pack. If we're using any sort of like actual ice or ice packs, making sure that we're wrapping it up in a towel just to protect the skin. And then you can just apply that either before or after nursing sessions for some relief. Another thing that you can do is called breast gymnastics. And so you'll just place your hands on your breast and you're just going to kind of lift and move the breast around to help with that milk flow. So you'll kind of lift up, you'll push to the side. You can even do like little circles, but you can do that before and after nursing sessions to help with milk flow and for some relief. And then the last thing that I would recommend for engorgement is making sure that we're wearing nursing clothes and bras that are non-compressive. Because if these bras are too tight, they can actually cause some clogged ducts, which can be more painful, which could result in mastitis as well, which is an infection within the milk duct. So making sure that we're wearing clothing that is very loose fitting around like the armpit area and also underneath the breast is going to be really important. So this is the Bodily Everything bra. This is my preference in the early postpartum. It's made by an IBCLC, which is a lactation consultant, because they wanted to make sure that it was non-compressive for the early days. And so this one is specifically made for the early postpartum, like the first month or 2 postpartum, because there's so much breast size change that happens in those first few days and weeks. And so making sure that we have a bra that's pretty stretchy, still supportive, but non-compressive is going to be really, really important in the early postpartum. So those are my tips to help with engorgement in the early postpartum. If you have more tips or things that really helped you, be sure to comment below so that other folks that are watching this video can see your tips. I've heard things from using like different types of homeopathic remedies, taking choline, in addition to like using cabbage leaves. So there's a lot of different remedies out there to help with engorgement, but those were the top 5 that I found to be so helpful for me in this early postpartum period, and I found to be really helpful in my previous postpartums as well. So thanks so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video and that it was helpful for you. I'm going to be taking more videos in my early postpartum into my postpartum phase, just kind of vlogging and sharing my experience so that you can learn from what I'm doing to help normalize the different things that are going on in this early postpartum phase. If you want more support in your postpartum, check out our free early postpartum recovery course. In the early postpartum recovery course, we have breathing drills, mobility, in addition to gentle core exercises, and a general guide to movement in the first month to 6 weeks postpartum, because 4 to 6 weeks is too short to immediately jump back to the gym, but also too long to do absolutely nothing. And so we can do movement to help kind of reconnect with our core and with our pelvic floor before we return to the gym, and that's what the free course is made for. After that, we have our postpartum return to fitness programs, which are going to be our more structured workout programs. We offer this in 2 main formats. The first is going to be our app-based format, which is going to be a list of exercise with short demo videos. This is going to be a traditional style of workout delivery, and it's going to be self-paced workouts. We have at-home options and gym variations. We also have full-length workout videos that you can follow and work out with at the same time, known as our Postpartum On Demand program. This is going to be a 6-week program that's going to guide you through that initial return to fitness. You can check out all of our postpartum fitness programs on our website at MamasteFit.com and use code YouTube10 to get 10% off any of the online offerings as a thank you for watching. But be sure to like and subscribe to the channel so you get notified whenever we release new videos. I'll be releasing 1 or 2 new vlogs every week sharing my postpartum experience.